I noticed it because of the towel. It sounds stupid, but that's how most things start. Something small, easy to dismiss. Every morning, I hang my towel on the same hook behind the bathroom door. White towel, blue stripe along the edge. I've done it that way since I moved in, without thinking about it. One morning, I walked into the bathroom and saw the towel lying on the floor. In the mirror, it was still hanging. I stopped in the doorway, toothbrush in hand, and stared. The reflection was perfect otherwise. Same lighting, same sink clutter, same half-empty toothpaste tube. Even my expression matched, confused, slightly squinting. But the towel was wrong. I turned around and looked behind the door. The hook was empty. I bent down, picked the towel up, and held it in my hands. In the mirror, my reflection did the same, but behind it, the towel was still hanging neatly where it was supposed to be. I blinked. Hard. When I looked again, the towel was gone from the reflection too. I laughed, actually laughed, out loud. I figured it was some weird angle thing, or maybe I hadn't fully woken up yet. I brushed my teeth and went to work, already forgetting about it by lunchtime. The second time, I didn't laugh. That evening, I leaned toward the mirror to floss and noticed something odd behind my reflection. The medicine cabinet door was open. In real life, it was closed. I checked, tapped it with my knuckle. Solid. In the mirror, it hung open just slightly, casting a thin shadow on the wall inside. I moved my head side to side, testing the angle. The reflection followed perfectly, except for the cabinet. Then, as I watched, the cabinet in the mirror swung shut. A second later, I heard the click. The real cabinet closed. I stepped back so fast I hit the sink. My heart was pounding, but I told myself there had to be an explanation. Old hinges, air pressure, a trick of timing that only felt unsettling because I was already primed by the towel thing. That night, I avoided looking directly at the mirror. Over the next few days, I started noticing patterns. The mirror wasn't wrong. It was early. Small things appeared in the reflection before they happened in reality. A light flicking on a second before I flipped the switch. Steam forming before the shower started running. A drip from the faucet that appeared in the mirror then began in real life moments later. Never more than a few seconds ahead. Never anything dramatic. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't even write it down. I was afraid that naming it would make it worse, or make it sound crazy enough that I'd stop trusting myself. Instead, I tested it. I stood in front of the mirror and raised my hand slowly. In the reflection, my hand rose just a fraction of a second earlier. I dropped it. Same delay. My reflection was always ahead of me. Not by much, but enough. The first real glimpse of tomorrow happened on a Tuesday night. I was getting ready for bed, standing at the sink, when I noticed something behind my reflection that made my breath catch. There was a small cut on my left cheek. In the mirror, my skin in real life was unbroken. I touched my cheek, fingers shaking, smooth. The reflection showed a thin, red line, fresh, like I'd just nicked myself shaving. I leaned closer. The cut in the mirror stung when I touched my real skin. Not pain, exactly, but a sharp awareness, like my body was remembering something it hadn't done yet. I backed away from the mirror and turned off the bathroom light. The next morning, I sliced my cheek, shaving. Same spot, same angle. After that, I couldn't stop checking. I started lingering in the bathroom longer than necessary, watching my reflection for clues, for warnings, for proof that I wasn't imagining things. The mirror began to show me things hours ahead of time. A coffee mug tipped over on the counter, a crack forming in the corner of the sink, a bruise blooming on my arm before I felt it. Everything eventually happened, exactly as I'd seen it. The more I watched, the further ahead it seemed to reach. By the end of the week, it was showing me things from the next day. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't I cover it? Why didn't I leave? I tried. I taped a towel over the mirror one night before bed, pressed it flat so there were no gaps. At 2:17 a.m., I woke up with a strong sense that something was wrong. The towel was still there, but I could see movement behind it. Not shadows, not light. Motion, like the reflection was shifting, adjusting itself, trying to line up with me. I ripped the towel down. The mirror showed me standing there, breathing hard, eyes wide. Behind my reflection, the bathroom door was open. In real life, it was closed. In the reflection, someone was standing in the hallway, just out of view, waiting. I slammed the bathroom door and didn't look back. The next morning, the hallway was empty. The bathroom door was exactly where I'd left it. I told myself it was stress, lack of sleep, a trick of pattern recognition gone too far. That afternoon, while washing my hands, I glanced at the mirror without thinking. I wish I hadn't. My reflection looked tired, older. There were dark circles under its eyes that I didn't have yet, and behind it, taped to the mirror from the inside, was a piece of paper. 3 words written in my handwriting: "Don't stay." I checked behind the mirror. There was nothing there. I didn't leave right away. That's the part I'm most ashamed of, even now. Not because I ignored the warning, but because I hesitated like it was a suggestion instead of a command. I packed a bag and left it by the door. Clothes, charger, documents, everything I'd need if I decided to go. Then I sat on the couch and stared at the bathroom door like it might open on its own. I told myself I'd check the mirror one last time, just to be sure. The bathroom light flicked on before I touched the switch. In the mirror, I saw myself step inside. In real life, I hadn't moved yet. The reflection walked closer to the sink, movements smooth and unhurried. It looked calmer than I felt, less tense, like it already knew how this ended. Behind it, the paper was still taped to the mirror. "Don't stay." In the reflection, I reached up and peeled the note off. I hadn't done that yet. I raised my hand in real life. The reflection paused. For the first time since this started, it waited for me. I didn't touch the mirror. I backed away and turned off the light. I slept on the couch that night, shoes on, bag within reach. At some point, I dreamed I was standing in front of the mirror again. In the dream, the reflection didn't match me at all. It stood still while I moved, watching with an expression that wasn't hostile, just patient. When I woke up, the bathroom light was on. I hadn't turned it on. I didn't go inside. The next morning, I tried not to look. I brushed my teeth in the kitchen sink, washed my face using my phone camera instead of the mirror. It felt ridiculous, but I couldn't bring myself to meet my reflection again. By noon, the curiosity crept back in. What finally broke me wasn't something new in the mirror. It was something missing. I passed the bathroom doorway and glanced inside by accident. Just a reflex. In the mirror, the sink was cracked. In real life, it was fine, but I knew, with a certainty that settled deep in my chest, that the crack was coming. I walked closer. The crack in the reflection spread slowly, like a hairline fracture in ice. Then I noticed something else. My reflection wasn't following me anymore. It stood still, hands resting on the edge of the sink, watching me approach. When I stopped, it smiled. I left the house without packing anything else. I didn't grab the bag, I didn't turn off lights, I just walked out the front door and kept walking until my legs started to shake. I stayed with a coworker that night. I didn't tell them everything, just that I was dealing with something personal and needed a place to crash. I slept. No dreams, no whispers, no reflections. For the first time in days, the future felt opaque again. The next morning, curiosity got me again. I know it shouldn't have. I know better. I went back to the house in the afternoon, telling myself I'd grab my things and leave for good. I stood in the doorway for a long time before going inside. Everything looked normal. Too normal. The bathroom light was off, the mirror was uncovered. I approached slowly, heart pounding, already rehearsing how I'd look away. I didn't have to. The mirror showed the bathroom exactly as it was. Same lighting, same sink, same uncracked porcelain, same me. I let out a shaky breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. Maybe it was over. Maybe leaving had broken whatever loop I'd fallen into. Then my reflection blinked. I hadn't. It raised its hand. I didn't. The reflection leaned closer to the glass. "You don't want to go," it said. Its mouth moved out of sync with my own. The voice wasn't loud. It wasn't threatening. It sounded reasonable, familiar, like my own thoughts spoken out loud. "It's easier if you stay." I stepped back. The reflection frowned. Behind it, the bathroom door was closed. Behind me, it was still open. I turned. The door slammed shut. I don't remember everything that happened after that. I remember the sound of glass cracking, sharp and final. I remember the pain in my hand as I tried to cover the mirror. I remember seeing my reflection step forward as the glass broke, not falling outward, but opening like a doorway. The next clear memory I have is standing in the hallway, breathing hard, the bathroom door open again. The mirror was intact. The sink was cracked. My hand was bleeding. I moved out 2 days later. I didn't look at the mirror again. I taped cardboard over it, wrapped it in a blanket, and left it exactly where it was. The landlord didn't ask questions. I didn't offer explanations. I told myself it was done. I told myself I'd escaped. My new apartment doesn't have a bathroom mirror. I took it down the first night. I avoid reflective surfaces when I can. Windows at night, dark screens, polished metal. Most days it's fine, but sometimes, usually when I'm tired or distracted, I catch glimpses. A reflection that moves just a little too early. A blink that comes before I'm ready. This morning, I noticed a small cut on my cheek while shaving. Same spot as before. I hadn't nicked myself yet. I turned off the light and stepped away from the sink. I didn't stay to watch. I already know what happens if I do. If you're reading this and something feels familiar, if your reflection ever seems slightly out of sync, don't wait for proof. Don't test it. And if your mirror ever shows you a note you don't remember writing, take the advice, leave. Because the mirror doesn't show the future, it shows the version of you that stays. Archived at midnight,